50% of the backswing time takes place in the first foot to 2 feet away from the ball. So 50% of the backswing time takes place during this period right here. 50%. Most people get that going way too fast. 50%. And the backswing time is 3 times the downswing time. So it's a ratio of 3 to 1. There's a real rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1. When you get going wrong, it's 2 to 1. Most tour players, good golfers, the time of their swing from the takeaway to impact is about 1.1 seconds. Some a little faster, some a little slower. 3/4 of the time is taking place on the backswing, 1/4 downswing. So there's that 3 to 1 ratio. 3 to 1. Now with a lot of higher handicap players, backswing is way too fast. There's not a 3 to 1 ratio. And sometimes the higher handicap player will have a faster swing from takeaway to impact than the tour players. 50% of that backswing time will take place during the first foot to 2 feet. 50%. And when you get to the top, 50% of the downswing time will take place from the club being here to the club being here. So there's a kind of a symmetry there. The slowest part is here, the slowest part is here. So you start slow on the backswing, club starts slow on the downswing and accelerates through the ball. When it's done right, it looks right because there's a certain rhythm and a symmetry and a balance. But the first thing that you have to concentrate on is the first foot. So start that first foot slower. When you do, you'll find that your timing is better at impact, where there's a gradual acceleration. And you'll be in control if you start this first foot in control. A lot of players I see try to hit the ball on the backswing and get the club moving way too fast and they get out of control. I want you to imagine the club head as being a car coming from this dead stop and again to this stop sign. Most poor players or good players that get out of control get this car moving from 0 miles an hour, get it moving way too fast. So it gets up to maybe 50 miles an hour by the time you get here. Gets up to 60 miles an hour here. And then it has to go from 60 back down to 0 because at the top of the swing, the club head is actually at a 0 miles per hour. So we got a car going from 0 to 60 to 0 in like a flash. So there's a jerk, a stop, and then you have to get back and speed up on the downswing. The same car, kind of going through a school zone where the car goes from 0 to 15. Okay, 0 to 15 or 20 at this point. Still continuing on at 20. Continuing on at 20. Now it's much easier to go from 20 down to 0. So it's a constant speed rather than an accelerated speed during the backswing. 0, 20, 20, 20, 0. Now you also want to do the same thing on the downswing. You want to go 0 and gradually accelerate. 0, 20, then the acceleration occurs. All this goes into making a beautifully timed, well-balanced swing with most of the club head speed occurring at the ball, at impact.